Hey, this is Mo Lunsford at Union Grove Lumber Studios.
And this is the Shed Geek. We want to welcome you to today's episode. Okay, welcome back to another episode of the Shed Geek podcast. Back again, and love the new office.
Thank you.
Yes, it is awesome. And it's good to hear that Mo is doing some fishing, enjoying retiring, doing something. Because I asked one of the employees, and she's like, I don't know, Mo who?
I know. He's never here anymore. He's playing music. I feel like he's in Nashville a lot.
Nice.
He's never here.
That's his passion.
Yeah. Actually, we did call him today. We're in search of some mahogany. A customer called looking for something very odd. And I'm like, I even forget where we bought that mahogany. So I told Lauren, I said, call Dad. I don't know.
Well, Thank goodness he's enjoying it. And you are at the helm over here, knocking it out, doing good things. I'm here in Union Grove everywhere I go. So it's just awesome. But for those who don't know you, feel free to introduce yourself.
Sure. I am Erica Goodnight, and I am the owner here at Union Grove Lumber. My husband, Josh, and I bought the company back in 2018. So right before the craziness of the world. And before that, I've been here since 2009 working. But I grew up in this industry. So my dad, we've been here 40 years now. Wow. I think servicing the shed industry alone. So we don't service any other industry. We are solely focused on the shed industry and only lumber. So if it comes from a tree, goes in a barn, that's all we do. So I have learned to live and breathe lumber. It's not what I went to school for, but here I am.
Here you are, and you're doing well, and everything looks awesome. And I can't imagine coming in at the time that you did as owners of 2018. Wow.
Well, it was a challenge. I really thought to myself, what did I do? Yeah, as an owner, because, Dad sold us the business, and the world took a turn that year in 2019, and a lot of tears that month in March, I remember, and a lot of prayers, my goodness. But you know what? Look at what it did. It panned out, and but it's still, it's a fun industry, and this industry is such tight knit, and it's a family, and I love this industry. I love our customers, and the customers have been so understanding. Whenever I bought the company from Dad, I knew that the industry would embrace the fact that I was here as a lineage from Dad, and that it just passed on really well. And I hope the same for my children if they decide to stay in the industry.
Well, and what an awesome thing to have, a woman's voice in a otherwise male-dominated industry for the most part. It's so nice whenever I get to meet shed sellers like Lori Washburn or, Shed Gal. There's so many of them. I could probably sit here and name, Sherry Holmes, our
so
Girl Power episode.
So few.
Us
girls in the shed industry or in the lumber industry, there's very few girls in the actual wholesale lumber industry or in the lumber world. And so girl power.
I know. I think it's awesome. Me and my wife talk about it all the time. And I'm like, man, what a cool time to be alive, to just kind of see that. I don't know. It's cool to celebrate that because it's otherwise, and I know that from even like sales. Yeah. If you have a lady there, if me and my wife were both selling a shed, somebody would come in and they would, most of the guys would naturally go to me, and I'm like, listen, I'll get you through it. If you just want the expert opinion though, ask her. If you want to know what's really going on around here,
right,
ask her.
I do have a lot of customers that say the same thing, like a husband and a wife team. And, they do really well because a lot of times, a lot of women will gravitate towards women. But here, I have Sammy, and he's my sales manager because still yet I have a lot of customers that still gravitate towards Sammy, and that's great. But my buyer here is Lauren, so I have a female buyer. But we just nail it out in here. And we have a lot of fun. We're a family atmosphere, and we love our customers, though. Our customers are amazing.
Well, kudos to you for what you've done and what you continue to do, carrying on this
Dad's legacy.
Awesome thing.
We'll give him props.
Yeah, he's awesome.
He started it, and he continues. I think he's proud.
I tell people I want to be Mo when I grow up. Anyway, so
I don't know. Some days.
Some days, yeah. I want to be able to play music like him. That's really cool. Hey, pull over. I want to take a look at that cool looking shed right there.
That is a sharp-looking shed. I've been looking to purchase a shed myself.
Well, stop on in. Let's ask the owner where he got it.
Oh, shucks. It doesn't appear anyone's home. Guess we'll have to come back tomorrow.
Wait. There's a nameplate on that shed. And there's a phone number. And a website.
Great. Let's give him a call.
Identigrow, helping identify your shed brand for over 20 years. So let's talk. We talk sheds. We talk sheds all the time. That's just what we do. But let's talk about some specifics to sheds today. How about that?
Let's do it.
You guys carry a lot of product.
Lot.
You guys have been so faithful to be the studio sponsor here at Shed Geek Podcast. We appreciate that. We want to talk about some of those products. That's the thing. But me and you were talking recently about education and the value in just educating the B2B side. The B2C side, yes, if consumers come on and listen to this, or if manufacturers want to share this with their consumers because they're going to have questions. But a question come up recently about warranty. And It's like, you know what? Let's just do this. Let's just get on a podcast. Let's talk about warranties. So I don't know if everybody knows all of the different products that you guys sell. But I'm going to let you elaborate. Just take the mic a little bit. Give me some thoughts on like some of the things that you guys sell and some educational pieces that you think would be really valuable for people to know about the specifics, whether it's shed flooring or whether it's your the notched runners that you guys do. I mean, just educate me,
Well,
and hopefully it'll help educate others too.
Yeah, well, we can go down entire rabbit trails on this,
For
but
sure.
I am glad that you gave me the opportunity to come on here and, discuss warranties, because I think that it is pivotal for the consumer, my customer, but also if we do have homeowners come and listen to the Shed Geek podcast to understand warranties and how everyone is protected. Number one, the homeowner needs to know that they are protected in warranties, that the shed manufacturer offers them, but also the shed manufacturer is protected in warranties that I offer them from my vendor, which is the mills, which protects me. So everybody is protected in some sort of fashion, depending on the product. So I did make a few notes in my, I was waiting in car rider line, picking up my child today. And so there are a few notes. And also my customers have a catalog that we give out. We actually gave it out at the Shed Show, the Big Shed Expo this year. And it's super valuable because in it we do have the warranty and claims process, because the claims process is very simple and it's the same for every customer and in all products really. But the main thing that everyone needs to realize in all products is that warranty lumber has a lifespan, just kind of like your groceries. A lot of people don't think that lumber has a lifespan, but it does. And so it needs to be first in, first out. So whenever you get a new shipment of lumber in from whatever vendor that you purchase your lumber from, pull the old lumber out, put the new in, and use that old lumber first, because it's going to age. And, the vendors aren't liable for aged product, and so, make sure that you're using first in, first out, because there's not warranties out there that cover age. So just be sure that you're doing your due diligence as a manufacturer of sheds to rotate your lumber. And so that's just a word to the wise. Absolutely. A little bit there, just an FYI. And then the second note that I want to preface this whole conversation with is that a warranty is only as good as the vendor and the mill that backs it. And so if you're buying product from a vendor that's like, we don't really deal with warranties, or you'll just have to go to the mill yourself, or, any of that sort, then, really take a step back and figure out, who you're buying product from or what mills you're buying your product from, at the end of the day, because your warranty process or your claims process is only as good as that gets. So here at Union Grove Lumber, we take our claims process and our warranty very seriously, and we treat every single customer the same exact way, and I'll walk through that today. All right. Now, here we go into warranties. So whenever you turn in a warranty, whenever there's any problems, the main thing you want to do is pictures. Okay, whether or not the product is on a shed or still sitting in your manufacturing facility, not even put on a shed yet, if you are looking and you're like, ooh, that doesn't look good, I'm not going to put that, install that into my shed, that doesn't look good, take a picture. Pictures are worth 1,000 words. The old cliche, 100% true. Number one, take a picture of the problem. If it's a D-lam and a siding, if the face is coming off of the back, that happens in T111. It can happen in Duratemp. Anything where it has a face that is adhered separate than the back. It could happen in plywood. Anything with a veneer. So if that happens, take a picture of the D-lam. If you have something where, let's just say, I'm trying to think of something else. In European spruce, if you have a massive split where the split goes more than 2/3 of the way through the board, if you have that, so you can take a picture of that. So anything where you think that it is a problem, take a picture of the problem, but also take a picture of the stamp. There is always a stamp on the panels, on the European spruce. Everything has a stamp.
And that holds a lot of information.
Oh my
correct?
Goodness.
Okay.
My goodness.
I'm at least on board with you here because
Yes. So that stamp tells us a lot of things. It tells us the day that the panel was made. It tells us who made the panel. It tells us which machine made the panel. And here's the reason that we need all of that information. Something went wrong.
Yeah.
Somebody did something wrong. The machine wasn't pressing right. We need to know what went wrong because we need to fix it.
Yeah.
We need to go back to the computer, or we need to go back to the QC, the quality control of that day, and figure out what went wrong. Because if we can't go back and figure out what went wrong at the mill, then we can never remedy the problem, and wants to say that it's not going to happen again and again and again. The whole thing with the claim is we've got to fix it.
Right.
If we can't fix it, then it's going to happen again, and then it's just going to snowball into a nightmare.
You'll like this. I think of like my time working in management. I had a lady hollering at me one day because she was upset with the service, and it just dawned on me to one day say, "Ma'am, do you want to be mad, or do you want me to solve the problem?"
Right.
And you'd be amazed at how that just like, yeah, I want a solution. That's the whole point. Okay, then let me fix it. Like I can sit here and let you holler more.
Right.
But then at the end of that, I still need to fix the problem because that's what's on my mind. I need to fix the problem if there is one.
We have got to fix the problem. Exactly. And the lumber industry is the exact same way. And also what a lot of people don't realize, but that specific mill run has to pay the credit out.
Okay.
Yeah.
Wow.
So they get docked.
So they really want to fix the problem.
Oh, yes, that shift or that mill run has to, they get docked, not necessarily the finances of it, but they have like a point system a lot of times. So they get docked. So those stamps are highly important. So photos are so important.
Hello, shed sellers. Did you catch the latest Real Work Labs interview with George Converse? If not, don't miss this value-packed episode. Head to Shed Geeks Podcast YouTube and search Real Work Labs. George and the Real Work Labs crew are riding the wave of Google's latest updates, taking your digital presence to the next level. We're tech artisans crafting your neighborhood brand voice for shed sellers like you to stand out, gain trust, and get found online. Our software will easily capture your work snapshots, videos, weave your craft's story, and get reviews all in one virtual experience. Our innovation goes beyond getting found for your business location, rather getting found for your work locations. Reviews intertwine with their corresponding job sites. When potential customers seek local expertise, you're the proven solution they'll find. It's high time to map your reviews and showcase your beautiful work in a meaningful way that builds trust in customers' neighborhoods. Ready for the journey? Visit shedgeek.realworklabs.com or call George today at 480-787-7575. Real Work Labs, elevating your trust, increasing your conversions, and getting you found where you work in the neighborhoods you serve, one shed at a time.
We all also have to remember that lumber, no matter if it's a panel or a stick, whatever, but we have to remember that it is a natural resource that God made. And so we are man-making it into something that's usable for our industry. And a lot of times things are not caught. And we have all types of mechanisms put into place. We have robots, we have humans, we have all sorts of things that try to catch problems before they get out in the field. A lot of people are saying, you know, in the claims process, well, why did I even see this? You know, how did this even get to me? Listen, we're trying. You know, we try to catch, you know, the
100%.
100%. We try. Believe me, I want 100% of perfection every time, every load, everything. But it's impossible because computers miss it. Mm-hmm. That's just the end of the story. But the whole thing is fixing it. Mm-hmm. You know, if it misses it, we're going to fix it. And that's what you got to know at the end of the day. And again, it's all in who your vendor is and are they willing to fix it. Union Grove Lumber, we're going to fix it and it's going to be immediate. But how do these things get out the door? It's just error. And it's not that we're trying to slide something in or a mill is trying to be facetious or, you know, they just don't care. None of that is true. It's just it got out the door. It's a natural made product and it just failed the QC process and it got out.
From time to time. It's inevitable.
It's inevitable.
We have made mistakes here on the podcast. We've had to make corrections. We had to make one last week. We just, you know, and we have safeguards. We have processes we walk through, Erica, and we go, okay, there's 3 sets of eyeballs on this. And for some reason, you go back and you go, didn't you look at it? And you're like, yeah, I did. I looked at it and it still went out that way, didn't it? And it's like, and you can't pull it back.
No.
You know, the moment that it does, you're like,
I mean, just look at newspapers. I mean, look at the New York Times. I mean, they have an entire column.
Right. Of
misprint.
Right.
Yeah. I mean, and that's...
It just happens. It's human error. It's human error. And really a little tolerance goes a long way. Right. A little grace goes a long way. You know? It
does. And that's something I'm going to talk about here in just a second too, is allowable tolerances, even in stamped material, because there is allowable tolerances, which no one likes to hear. It's not in panel material per se, but it is in some, like the European spruce has tolerances. Okay, so why do we even do the claims process? It is because of reputation. The Union Grove Lumber has a reputation to uphold. If my customer feels like I do not cover material that is no good, my reputation goes down.
Right.
Well, Union Grove Lumber sells material and they don't cover product that isn't good. I'm not going to buy from them. That's not true. Yeah. I have a reputation to uphold, but so does my customer. You know, if Goodnight Sheds, so to speak, that's my last name there. I don't think there's a Goodnight Shed, so don't go look
Give it time. Give it a week.
Yeah, no. So if Goodnight Sheds gets out there and, you know, they build a shed and it gets out, well, Goodnight Shed, the siding falls apart, and I bought a shed from them and they won't come out and fix their siding, and then it gets out, well, Goodnight Sheds is a bad company to buy from because they won't fix the siding, but really it's because Goodnight Sheds bought from Union Grove Lumber, and Union Grove Lumber wouldn't help Goodnight Sheds go fix the siding. It all circles back around. That's not how it operates. So because Goodnight Sheds bought from Union Grove Lumber, we're all going to work together if there's a siding problem and we're going to fix it. Or if there's a flooring problem, we're going to fix it. Or if there's a trim problem, we're going to fix it. Because we all have a reputation in the shed industry to make the homeowner happy. At the end of the day, we're going to have the best storage units in the United States. And that's the end of the story. The homeowner is going to be happy. There is not one storage shed builder in America that buys from Union Grove Lumber that can say, well, our product falls apart and they're not going to fix it, so I'm not going to fix it. No, Union Grove Lumber's fixing it, so we're all going to fix it.
Yep.
Because Shannon at Shannon's house is going to be happy.
Right.
And he's going to spread the word that whoever you bought your shed from fixes their sheds and stands behind their sheds.
I said something the other day, always on a call with somebody. It was a business call. And I said, we're imperfect. We're going to make mistakes. And I said, the only thing I need you to do is come tell me about this mistake. You don't have to go tell everyone else we made the mistake and then let me try to fix it through all these third parties that I have to hear it from. Best to come tell me we made the mistake and let me fix it. Because I will be diligent about fixing whatever the problem is. What happens so often is we're afraid to go to the solution. If Union Grove, you know, if there was a problem, it's hey, talk to. We actually want to fix it, but please don't run and tell everyone else, because you know an unhappy customer tells everybody, a happy customer tells nobody, right? They just kind of sit on it. And it's like, but what about the 99 times we did a good job? You know, yes. We don't, you know, there's always that one. So, and I had, the guy told me, he said, I've really been thinking about your comment. I said, everybody wants the opportunity to fix something if they think there's something wrong, you know, and if they don't, then that's whenever you have that, I would say that permission to work with someone else or, right. You know, use another product, but you guys stand behind your stuff just like we do.
100%, 100%. And there's not a customer that has turned in a claim that could say, you know, otherwise. But I mean, I can go into, I've got a few examples of, you know, some education of why there have been a few claims that have been denied, and we can go into why.
Sure.
Because there have been, you know, but there's where education comes in.
Have you ever had a customer ask you about how to supply power to their shed? Do you sell electrical kits as an upsell for your sheds currently? Do you want an easy, no-hassle option to offer for your customers when they want to add electric to their sheds? Check out EcoEthics Solar. EcoEthics Solar is looking for shed manufacturers and shed dealers who want to be able to provide a solar electric option to their line of sheds. With EcoEthics Solar, you can purchase the SunSaver, a solar product specifically designed with the shed owner in mind. Want to offer a larger product that can operate a full tiny home? At EcoEthics Solar, they have the necessary product, training, and capacity to meet your customers' needs. Installation for the SunSaver is simple and takes just 45 minutes. You can even install it right there in your sales lot or at the manufacturing facility. EcoEthics Solar even provides hands-on in-person training if necessary. Plus, they will provide you with video tutorials and handouts with specific installation instructions that keeps adding a solar-powered electrical system to your shed fast and simple. In many cases, the end user can even perform the installation once the shed is delivered to their home. If you are interested in purchasing a unit for display and then drop shipping your orders, or even ordering multiple units to have available as you build, contact my friends at EcoEthics Solar at 336-250-1284 or email sales@ecoethicsolar.com.
So let me go into how we cover our claims and why we cover claims. And there have been some examples of why not, and I'll go into those. So whenever you turn in a claim with pictures, our ratio for monetary coverage, if you have not used the product yet, is 1-to-1. So if it's not been built with yet, it is 1-to-1. So if you paid $30 for that sheet and you've not used it yet and it looks bad, I'll pay you $30 back for that sheet. Okay? But if the sheet is already on a barn, you're going to get 3-to-1. So $90 for that one sheet. That's just for an example for everybody listening. So it's a 3-to-1 sheet. And why the 3-to-1? It's our industry standard, and it is to help with the labor and the time used to go replace the sheet, because it has to be replaced. That's the thing. You've got to fix it either on the lot, if it's still on your lot, on a sales lot, or if it's at a consumer's home. If it's at a homeowner's house, you've got to go get it fixed. The last thing we want is for that homeowner to be unhappy and spread the word that the barn builder's not, making them happy.
So how does that usually happen? Does the customer complain, or the customer submits some type of claim, and then that goes through its process to eventually get to that 3-to-1? I'm not suggesting there are any manufacturers out there that would do that, but it's, 3-to-1 is going to be a better payout if there is an issue. So, but I mean, that's not going to put somebody to work all the time. There's not going to be enough failure in the product to be making a business off of a 3-to-1 claim, So like, you're honestly just saying, hey, listen, we're going to make this right, labor and everything.
Right. Yeah, there's
awesome.
Not enough money in it for it to be like a side hustle.
See, I learned something every time.
Yeah, because also you have to prove that
it's the failure of the product too, right? Yeah. You know what I'm saying?
It's the failure of the product, and you have to say, here's this barn and here's this sheet. So let's just say it was a barn, and sometimes on the barn there's 2 sheets that failed on the same barn, so that one barn would just get 6 sheets of credit.
Gotcha.
So it's really not that much money on that one barn. And it is a lot of work to go and replace it. I mean, it's not simple. Yeah. And so, as far as a side hustle, I've never even thought of that, Shannon.
I've seen some of the craziest stuff in the shed industry. So you just never know. Somebody's always looking to make a buck, right?
Yeah. Yeah. That's funny. No. And listen, customers out there, that would not be well. Don't get a side hustle thing.
You're doing the right thing already by making it right. Like, you're giving them and the good thing is we do, I might tease the industry, but we really do have a good industry. You're going to have a few bad apples, and it's just always going to happen.
I think the proof there with all of the photos, like it's honestly would be more work than it's worth if they tried to fluff it. Yeah. I mean, there's so much proof that has to be done. And really the mills are pretty diligent in ensuring that the correct number of pieces have been turned in and it's not duplicate pictures. I mean, they keep records, as do we. Yeah. But, we also make sure that the customer's taken care of. That's right. So while it's all, reviewed, also the customer's quickly rectified in their finances. So it's all taken care of. Now, as far as what vendors do what and what due diligence is taken for each vendor, I can only speak to the warranties of the vendors that I personally carry. So for any of you guys that are listening to this and wondering about specific name brands or things that you personally carry, if I don't mention your specific name brand that you're wondering about, then you can reach out to that specific vendor or that specific mill. But anyways, the vendors that I distribute for, the first one that I can name off is Roseburg Forest Products. So that is Duratemp. Now, we have been distributing Duratemp before Duratemp was even with Roseburg. So we have been with Duratemp since day one. That was 40 years ago. So that was with Stimson Forest Products. And then Roseburg took on Duratemp whenever Stimson sold the skins, which is the face, to Roseburg. Now, Roseburg has a 50-year bumper-to-bumper warranty on their siding, and it is by far the highest warranty in the entire industry. And I have seen them stand behind this product through thick and thin. They have, in my time owning this company, I have never seen them deny a claim. And it speaks volumes to the type of company that they are. Roseburg is absolutely just a handshake integrity company. And that is who Alan Ford, the original owner of Roseburg, created. And that is the mentality of that company. And it is who I do business with. Because
awesome.
It is the same integrity that I uphold here at Union Grove Lumber. We are a handshake. You don't have to sign, dotted lines here at Union Grove Lumber. You don't have to, give up your oldest child in order to, do business here.
Let service be the winner.
Let service be the winner, Yes, integrity is just important here. And Roseburg is the same. And so that's why I've chosen Roseburg as our premium siding option here. But their warranty is also premium. So 50-year. Nice. And it's superior. The second company that I can talk about their warranty is Huber Engineered Woods. So that is who makes Performax flooring. So that is also the maker of Advantech, but Performax is what is warranted in a shed. So that is their industrial floor. So that has your MDO face on it. Now that has a 25-year warranty, and it is the superior warranty for the flooring in the shed industry. Now, Huber has stood behind all claims. We've been carrying their flooring now since they started carrying Performax. We are their exclusive dealer. And so we have had, obviously, warranty claims, primarily. There's been just some thickness claims. We've never had any failures in performance with their flooring. There's just been some thickness claims and then some tongue and groove claims. So mainly all of their claims have been with prior install, which is fine, but they have covered it 100%, except for there has been one instance. I told you I was going to talk about any times that it's not been covered. So there was one time that the floor was not warranted. And if this person's listening, they're going to be like, that was me. And it was because the homeowner dug the ground out, dug 1.5 feet into the ground and put the barn in the ground. It was the most bizarre thing. Bizarre. You have never seen nothing like it. And then put the ground up around the sides of the barn. And then that was that. Listen, people, you can't do that. There is not one wood product on the face of the planet Earth
that would stand up to that.
No. And so, no. Concrete will stand up to that. But that's it. Or I guess any kind of Trex, the PVC flooring. But there's not wood floor that's going to stand up to that. So that gets me on to a little bit of install instructions. And it's fun that we're going to the Shed Haulers Bash tomorrow, and Friday. I don't know when this is going to be aired, but that's tomorrow and Friday.
I'm glad you're going this route because installation is what I would have thought of. I think of application when it comes to paint. So I think of application whenever it comes to, you gotta build this right.
Yes. You've got to put the barn in correctly. Whenever the shed haulers go out to set these barns up, and whenever the dealers at the lot sell these barns, they have to, inform the homeowner about finalization of these sheds. These sheds cannot be encapsulated. That's just common sense. Just like your home, at your house is not fully encapsulated underneath. There is vents.
Right.
You have little vents, you know, what are they, a foot wide and maybe 6 inches tall. You know, you kind of open them all the way in the summertime and halfway open in the winter. There are vents under your house, but that is because the earth sweats.
Right.
And otherwise, your subfloor in your home is going to rot.
Yeah.
And a shed is no different than a little tiny home. And so, anyways, whenever you guys go to set these barns up, just make sure that your homeowners realize your shed has to breathe.
It has to have some airflow.
You cannot encapsulate it. You cannot bury it in the ground.
So let's say you get some opposition. Let's say a shed hauler says, I had to put it how they wanted it.
Well, then that homeowner just needs to realize your floor might rot out.
Yeah.
And
there's going to be, like, there's not much recourse to the warranty of that, you know.
No, and here's the thing, you know, there are written instructions, you know, from all of the folks that have Huber and other folks that do manufactured flooring. There are instructions for how to set up these barns. A lot of them say, you know, 12 to 18 inches off the ground. Well, what is the ground? You know, is the ground the dirt? Is the ground gravel? What is the ground? You know, so there's a lot of gray area there. The whole point, though, is don't fully enclose underneath the barn. No matter what you do, it really doesn't matter if you're the 12 inches on the front end and 3 inches on the back end, whatever. Just make sure that the barn can breathe through, which means really 2 vents on either side. You know, a lot of people are running lattice around it. Perfect.
Yeah.
Perfect. Oh man, that thing can breathe. Can breathe. You know, it just has to be able to have it has to release moisture.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah.
Because the earth creates moisture.
That's right.
And that's the end of the story. You know, we're full of molten lava underneath us. That's my real degree from Wake Forest.
I'm going to tell you right. I'm going to tell you right now. I've never heard anybody on the show yet say we're full of molten lava.
We're full of it.
The first one.
We are hot and sweaty.
You can't tell me that degree didn't get put to use right here on the Shed Geek podcast.
You know what?
Today.
I'm going to have my dad listen to this because he is going to be so proud his money paying for Wake Forest was put to use. He's ashamed.
I'm sure he'll get a laugh out of it.
He's never going to listen. So
he's too busy in retirement, isn't he?
He's too busy. Thinking he's too busy.
Are you ready to elevate your shed business to new heights? Your pathway to success just got a whole lot smoother with ShedSuite's innovative marketing platform. At ShedSuite, we like to think we understand the shed industry at least a little bit. And over the last 7 years, we've been building awesome software for shed businesses. We focus first on building easy-to-use software to help you create and track orders, like the point of sale and after the sale order fulfillment. And now we're excited to announce our full-feature CRM. All things pre-sale, like prospecting and follow-up, all to empower your shed company to market better and sell more efficiently. Our platform empowers you with a marketing toolkit designed to amplify your online presence, engage your audience, and drive sales like never before. Enjoy the ease of conversion tracking, email marketing, centralized lead communication, and so much more. Oh, and guess what? It even comes with an iPhone and an Android app. With ShedSuite's marketing platform, crafting and deploying effective marketing campaigns is a breeze. The advanced reporting functionality allows your team to analyze real-time conversion data so you can make informed decisions and watch your business flourish. There's no better time than now to join the community of shed business owners who are scaling up with ShedSuite. It's time to turn your marketing efforts into real trackable results. Visit shedsuite.com/marketing to get pricing, explore the features, and book a demo. ShedSuite is committed to building top quality software to empower your shed business to thrive.
All right. So the next one, that is one that got denied because the guy buried his shed. So I will blatantly say denied, but it was unfortunate and it was just a learning process.
Yeah.
I will say that Huber did send their director of quality control down. So it wasn't without effort.
Yeah.
We did go down. We did help educate the guy in what happened. And it was just an unfortunate situation. So, but was money spent? Absolutely. But spent in travel and trying to help educate, and it was just an unfortunate situation. So.
I like to use this term. I saw it written in a collective bargaining agreement one time, and it stuck with me ever since. And it said a spirit of cooperation, and I've picked up on that and I've used it ever since. You also have to have a spirit of cooperation with the customer. We would like to think, me and you have always been able to talk reasonably. We've been able to talk very common sense like. And you'd like to think that's always going to be the case, but occasionally you may get a customer that I don't know. I think without insulting, what do they say? The best way to say it is, intelligence has been chasing you your whole life, but you've always been faster. It's the nicest way to say, I don't think you're getting this, I guess. Right. But, there's some people you can't please too. I mean, you're going to have one of those guys.
Right.
That at some point it's not good enough. And I heard the term fire a customer at one point. Like you have to fire a customer.
And somebody actually, it was Matthew Weaver. Matthew Weaver just the other day posted on Facebook, what is one of your best suggestions for business? I think it was his Facebook post. And Marlon, so sweet. Maybe he's listening. Maybe. But he commented, not all customers should you accept, or what was it?
I'm going to have to go look now.
I forget exactly the words that he used, but it was so true. Like, not all customers are a good fit, and that's okay. Not necessarily should you fire a customer, but it's okay to not accept every customer because not everybody is a good fit. And that's the same for, shed builders as well. If you get a customer in there that's like, super demanding, or, this is how I'm going to set up my shed. I'm going to bury it in the ground. Yeah. You tell those people, I'm going to
bury it in the ground.
I'm walking away. Like, don't let them bury it in the ground.
Yeah.
Just don't, unless they're having a concrete floor. And then say, okay, I will build your shed on your concrete floor.
There you go.
Yes, but don't put it on wood floor. Okay, and then the next vendor that we distribute for is Miratech Trim. Mm-hmm. Okay, so
I remember going to the shed show when I think Miratech, like they did a release or it was a new product. Mm-hmm. Man, I was so impressed.
Yeah.
Like I remember that name from my time in purchasing 10 years ago.
Yeah. Well, they do a lot in even the housing industry. So they're a big name. But they actually have a super cool way that they do warranties if anyone needs to call. But they have a 50-year star, but it's considered a 50-year prorated warranty. And in a nutshell, the way that they do it is really up to year 35, they pay you 100% of what you've paid for your trim if you have a problem. And honestly, like year 1 through, I think it's 6, they're paying you 200% of what if you have a problem.
Okay.
So it's really cool. So up to year 35, if you have a problem, though, they're paying you the 100%. And most shed builders are only warranting their sheds 5, maybe 10 years, some 15. I've seen a few 15. So if you've got somebody that's warranting, a product for 35 years, I mean, you've got it in the bag. So, I mean, Miratech has a superb warranty, and the shed builders, have every bit of confidence being able to use their trim for sure. The next one that I've got is our kiln dry T111. And the reason that this one is interesting, so this one's from CMPC, and they are in Chile. And the reason that this is interesting is it is a panel. Obviously, T111 is panel, and it is radiata pine. and it is pressure treated. The reason that this is interesting is normally yellow pine has very little warranty, and treated material normally doesn't carry much of a warranty because treated material will kick back to the chemical treatment folks. So whoever the chemical treater is. A lot of folks in America use Arch Chemicals. That's a huge name brand in America. We actually use womanized and Arch Chemicals here at Union Grove Lumber. You know, we treat a lot of our own materials, but with our treating facility, so whenever you buy like 2x4s and 2x6s, the actual 2x4 and 2x6 isn't necessarily warranted in its treatment, but we would have to kick back towards the treating chemical plant if there was a failure. So it's just bizarre. But the T111 from CMPC warranties that. And they warranty it for DLAM. They warranty it for voids. They warranty it. I mean, they do such a good job. We have been carrying their T111 now for, it's over 15 years now. And they just create the best T111, and they're kiln drying it over in Chile. It is such a light panel, but their warranty process is amazing for having a pressure treated panel. I'm just really impressed. They have really stepped up the game for a treated panel, and so it's really cool to see something that in America we had a really hard time in America with the T111 that was being produced here having a great warranty for the shed builders. And so CMPC really filled that void with something that, number one, is a great quality already. So we have very few claims, but whenever we do, they just hold the bar really high for the claims process. So they do a fantastic job. And so let's see. We talked about the treated materials. I made a little note on that. All right, so European spruce. I was talking a little bit earlier about splits and wane. And so in European spruce, the reason that European spruce is so important in the shed industry, just to give you a little insight, if you don't know.
I'm in session. I'm in class right now.
Okay.
Yeah.
Well, the reason that my customers love European spruce is because of it's so clean. So whenever you go to buy a shed, the homeowner looks at the inside. You know, a shed's bought from the inside out. And so European spruce is bought because of it's no wane, no stain. You know, it's just beautiful. But spruce mills have a 10% allowance for splits and wane. And that's where European mills have a different tolerance. So they really niche that down. But by spec, by number 2 premium, you can have 10% waste in a unit, which is insanity. To me, if I'm going to spend, let's just say, you know, $2,000 on a unit of lumber, there is no way I want to throw away $200 of that. Right?
Yeah.
That's bizarre.
Yeah.
I think that that's terrible. And I have had, actually just 2 weeks ago, I had an entire discussion with a European mill in Sweden. I called them because I actually did have a claim, and they bucked me a little bit on it because they threw that 10% out. And I was like, no, because it was well under 10%, you know, of the volume that this particular customer buys.
Okay.
But I was like, listen, it's still way more. I said, do you want to waste that amount of money on your bottom line? Like,
right.
You know, this isn't a gift. No, you're covering it. Thank you. But anyways, and they did cover it. Just letting you know. And that's how I go to bat for my customers pretty much. But so the allowance on a number 2 premium is 10%, which is crazy. So for you guys listening, the allowance is 10%. But the reason that you guys should continue to purchase European spruce is the European mills niche that down. They do not, by their own personal standards, allow for that. their personal standards are less than that. And so you're going to see less than 10% waste in those packs. But based off of, grade standards, you can have, there's an allowance for splits, there's an allowance for wane, and then blue stain, never warranted. I'm just going to let you all know that blue stain is based off of the weather in the winter. So that is never warranted. And so, but splits are warranted up to a certain amount, and then wane, it's very hard to get warranties out of wane. But splits. So if you have splits, I'm just going to read you the grade here on splits. So splits in European spruce are allowed up to 1.5 times the width of the board. So for an example, if you have a 2x4, the split is allowed up to 6 inches long. So that's a pretty long split. So just, be aware. And so if you have, a pack that's 240 pieces, if there are splits in that pack, longer than 6 inches, and then more than 24 pieces in that pack,
Okay.
then, that mill needs to be notified because something happened within that run. So anyways, that's how grading works, and European mills work as far as that goes. And then the yellow pine, that's all based off of just a hope and a prayer. So y'all just call me if there's ever yellow pine things, because yellow pine, the grading mechanisms there, which also is in our catalog, but we do sell number 2 yellow pine on all of our things, number 2x4s, 2x6s, and our 4x4s are typically number 1s, but our notch runners are also number 2s. But if you have questions on the grade and you think that there's something that's warranted, then of course, all you got to do is give me a call and we can go over it. Our new acacia flooring that's coming out, it's actually going to be here in April. They have a 25-year warranty coming out on it, and it's not going to have an asterisk either. So it's going to be warranted top to bottom, left to right as well. But at the end of the day, you guys, what you should go home feeling like is that you're warm and fuzzy and covered. There should be no concern that you guys have if you're offering your homeowner a 5 or a 10-year warranty on their shed. If you're buying your product, from me, from Union Grove Lumber, you should know, without a shadow of a doubt that you're covered. And, whoever you're buying from, if you have a concern, call them and ask them and make sure the same is the case, there. And, the process should be simple. Turn in the picture and then make sure that you're getting your claim. We send a credit out, and then that credit is applicable on any future invoice, and then that's how it works. And so, just make sure you're taking those pictures, getting that mill stamp. The mill stamp has to be turned in with the picture. The mill's not going to do a claim process without the mill stamp because they have nothing to credit it against. But get those pictures and turn in the claim. And we stand behind our product. Our vendors stand behind our products top to bottom. So do not be concerned. And you guys are doing an awesome job building quality sheds, but that's because you have quality products to put in there. And we appreciate all of your business for sure.
Man, that's great. I feel like we should do this more often. Like, I love the educational side of, because there's so much. We try to go so wide, from hauling to sales to building and manufacturing. It's always nice to have like an authority on it, like somebody who's tested and proven and has captured that market like Union Grove Lumber has, to just be able to come in and speak in a way that, like, I don't know, like, from an educational perspective, I'm assuming you guys probably do some of like the educational things at the expo and stuff like that.
Yes,
Yeah.
I do. They're always on crazy things, whatever I come up with. Yeah. There's one time I did it. I'm not a genie. I don't know what the pricing's next year.
Yeah. Nice.
I don't have a magic wand.
Yeah.
But no, we're doing lots of dealer days now to help educate because that's a lot of it is helping our customer, which is the builder, helping them educate the dealer. A lot of this is simple education. If everybody's on the same page, my goodness, does it help sell the barn? Listen, guys, we want to help you guys sell these barns because at the end of the day, that helps us sell lumber. So,
and you said it earlier. You said, people want to build quality sheds. That's what it boils down to. They want to build quality sheds, and you can't go anywhere without hearing someone say that's their primary focus. So they want quality products, and I know that you guys offer those here at Union Grove Lumber. Appreciate you sitting down with me today and going through this. Maybe we could do some more of these. Who knows? Maybe we can extend the invite and have some of the folks from these companies come on at some point.
That'd be great.
And have a conversation. Love to get their take on it. Everybody's got a shed story. Everybody can add value through conversation, and communication helps make the world turn just a little bit better. So that's our heart here. That's why we started doing it. Coming up on year number 4 in March.
It's flown by.
Yeah, start year number 4, and so much has changed in all that time, including a grandbaby next week.
So exciting, a little girl. So we're excited. We'll make sure to put pictures on the newsletter for those of you who get it, who care enough to gaze in the eyes of life. Those little babies just full of life. I love it. That's the best.
I can't wait. We really can't wait.
We won't see you anymore.
Yeah, I know it. No, me and my wife are trying to figure out how to slow down already. We're like, we want to.
You'll just take her with you.
Yeah, that'd be fine.
That sounds great.
That's fine. My kids are going to wonder what happened to their kid. But
yeah. Who cares?
Anyway, I just want to say publicly, appreciate you guys so much. What you do for the industry, what you've done for the industry for 40 years. You've blazed a trail to give people opportunities to be here like myself, to be in this industry, serving this industry like you have all this time. And you've been faithful stewards and support the whole time. And it does mean a lot. And we appreciate it. Union Grove was a name I heard as soon as I got in the shed industry. And it's always been positive. And I just hope people will buy from you because I know you guys are great. And
awesome.
We appreciate everything.
Oh, we appreciate it. We love our customers. Thank all of you guys. If you ever need anything, give us a call.
Perfect. Thanks,
Thank
Erica.
you.
Hey, this is Mo Lunsford in sunny Union Grove, North Carolina, and we want to say thank you to all the guests and listeners.